So there's three ways that traffic can be coming. Either organic, which is your friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
Organic through Google, which is strangers that are finding you organically, or paid traffic. All right. So write those three down. Three sources of traffic. Source one, organic, friends and family, which, and then put in parentheses, referrals. Organic with strangers, in parentheses, Google listing or Google ranking. And then the third source is paid traffic through advertising, whether that's a billboard on the side of the road or a Facebook boosted ad.
Yeah, I've not had any luck at all with the Facebook ads. Yeah.
And that's to be expected because you're not the only one. Most people throw an ad out and they skip the entire middle of the funnel. There's the top of the funnel and there's the bottom of the funnel. The top is when they discover you, and the bottom is where they book with you. Usually people take a top of the funnel ad and they send them straight to the booking page, right? I don't freaking know you. Why would I pick you over anybody else? You're just some freaking random stranger. I saw a sponsored post on it. We have to bring them into our world and nurture them through that process. Sometimes that takes one day. Sometimes it takes a 1 month. Sometimes it takes a whole year. Okay. So that's where we're going to build the middle of the funnel to nurture people through it. So you got your three types of traffic written down, right?
Yep.
All right. Now I'm hot. Gosh. Like moving around accordingly. It's a pretty good spot over here. All right, not a sudden. Okay. Now I can see my screen better. All right, so we got our three sources of traffic, and at any given time, we can be taking traffic from there and sending them to our page. So what we have to do is decide first, where is our traffic coming from right now? I assume it's number 1 and 2.
Yes, mostly.
And so the way that your site is now is fine for those two sources of traffic, right? If it's the third one, paid advertising, we're going to go a whole different route. And that's where we're going to make a landing page instead, right? A landing page with the specific intent of download my portfolio bait, right? Some sort of anticipating must-have thing that's not a big ask. It's not asking them to give you $3,000 for a wedding and make their memories last forever. That's a big ask for somebody who's a complete stranger.
Right.
However, if friends and family, the referrals and traffic source number 1, they know you pretty well. So we can speak to them a little bit more direct. Number 2, they don't know you at all yet, but they did click on you, right? So do you understand why it's important to understand where the source is coming from?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So let's go into the rest of this with the simple fact of number 1. Circle number 1 or underline number 1. That's our traffic source as of right now. Each source of traffic is going to have its specific approach because, again, marketing, and you can write this down as a little note, is, and I probably said this to you before, is the right message to the right person at the right time. If it's the right message and the right person, but they're not engaged or they're not ready to book a photographer, it's not the right time, they're not going to book with you. If it's the right time and the right person, but it's not the right message that resonates with them, they're not going to book with you. So you got to hit those 3 things at any given point. So that's just, we're going to start with number 1. We're going to go with number 1. That's your traffic, friends and family, and referrals. Okay. So a referral is they don't know you. They're a stranger. However, you have credibility because you were referred. They feel warmer about that. They feel comfortable about that. Okay, I know Lena because so-and-so told me she was great. That's better than somebody finding you a stranger off of Google. So a stranger finds you off of Google, we got to talk to them a little bit differently to warm them up. So we'll start with number 1, friends and family and referrals. Let me go to your website. You can see my screen still. Website. So first things first, the to-do list. I don't know if you've done it yet. Get rid of that pop-up from popping up right away. put a 20-second delay on it or a 10-second delay, whatever it may be. Because think about this. All right. So whether I came from any of those sources of traffic, I click on this website to go check you out because I'm interested. I'm looking for a wedding photographer, right?
Okay.
I land on here. I'm like, this is your, oh, well, fuck, what the hell is this? All right, I'm already distracted, right? I came over here for a reason. I'm already being asked for something. So that's why we want to put a delay on it.
Okay.
Okay.
It makes sense.
And when I say exit intent, a lot of these, what's your website built on?
Pixieset.
Okay, I don't know how that works, but they all have similar stuff. A lot of times you can have what is called exit intent. You can either set it to a delay, which they should absolutely have. They may or may not have exit intent. And exit intent is when I go to the URL tab, like my mouse is scrolling up here. It tracks that, and then it pops up the website. Hey, wait, don't go yet.
Okay.
You know? So look at that and just put some sort of delay on it.
Okay.
While we're still here, now remember thinking back to the traffic. Friends and family referrals are coming here. I'm going off traffic source 1. And this say this pops up after 10 seconds. We're just talking about the pop-up.
Right.
Is this enticing enough to get me to check on there? And I'm not saying it's not or is, but what do you think? So imagine what I am. I'm a friend of your aunt who said Lena's a really good photographer. Is that enticing to me to want to sign up?
No, because it's just very vague and there's nothing really.
Yep. That's a good answer. So that said, I don't know what the right answer is with that, but what you want to do is make a to-do or a note there on your to-do list. Make the offer more enticing. What this is right here, it's not you, hey, book me as a wedding. That's a hard ask. This is a soft ask. It's not really that committal. So this is an easy one to bring them into our world. So get exclusive VIP updates and offers. I don't know what that means, right? Maybe, and I'm just spitballing here. Become a VIP in my world and get 25% off future packages. That's a hard ask. Do you have any sort of
behind the scene, get behind the scene knowledge or get
Ooh, here's one.
learn.
Here's one. This is what we're going to do. You want to offer, and you've done the portfolio bait that we've taught in the past, right? You familiar with that?
Yes, I've definitely worked on it. I never finished it. I'm so bad.
Well, here, and it doesn't need to be complicated. It can just be a simple Google Doc, right? Right here,
I overcomplicate everything.
right here, we can do something simple like give me or enter your email, or no, not even enter email. Say the top 5 shoot locations in XYZ city, wherever you're at. Think, or in your county or in your state, right?
Right.
Now, because here's the deal. I'm only here because I'm interested in your photography, right? If you're niching down to weddings only, the top 5 wedding or the top 5 bridal shoot locations from my personal experience, enter your email and I'll send it over. Right now, honestly, you could just go as lazy as sending them a link to a website from somebody else who's already done it. But at least we baited them in. We got their email now, and that's the biggest part. I mean, the lazy part is sending them to somebody else's website, but hey, who knows? They might end up in their freaking world, right? The second lazy part would be to go look at that, do your research, and type out a Google Doc, and then link them to that in your MailChimp, right? The best route is to make a whole damn guide of it yourself, which is what we taught earlier, and include your photos, your experience, your insight, and things like that, because what that's going to do, it's going to indoctrinate them into you and your perception. You can take all the information from the internet and regurgitate it any way you want, or you can present it to them in a way that's already been presented. It's just a matter of how quick do we want to get moving.
Right.
So don't feel overwhelmed in this. Write that headline out. The top 5 bridal
Yep, got it written.
locations, or something like this. What about this? Here, let me look. Top 5. What do they call it? Bachelor at party locations in USA. Boom. Right here. We could link them to this. You know what I mean? Any of these top 15, we could literally do this, because all of these are people who are doing what we're talking about right now. Right? Stag and Hen is probably some sort of, they looks like they got a party thing. Maybe this would be good to link them to. Because it's not a photographer. So we're not sending them to our competition. Okay. So boom, I grab this link in your MailChimp. You introduce yourself. We'll get to that in a minute, but you introduce yourself, your brand, and say, oh, by the way, here's that link I promised you. They don't have to know that it's just a website that they could have done their own goddamn research for, right? All they had to do was type it in, but they're seeing it right here and it's popping in. Oh, that sounds awesome. The headline could read, have you decided on your bachelorette location? Enter your email and I'll send you over my top favorites. So it's enticing. It's getting them to give you your email, because when I land on this, I don't know you. Honestly, Lena, I don't give a fuck about VIP updates and offers. I don't even know you, right? So I'm going to click on it, and we're not going to get that email. And that the biggest thing is that top of funnel, get them into our world, and then we could speak to them accordingly. Especially if you're paying for ad traffic, right? If you send ad traffic straight to a Book Me page or get exclusive VIP updates, they're just going to be like, I don't know, whatever. They're going to end up in somebody else's world, and they're going to get that right message to the right person at the right time down the road from them. Okay. So step number 1, delay this a few seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and then make that headline more enticing. What I'm going to do, we're going to test out this. You got that all good?
Yep.
All right. Because what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to not overwhelm you, right? Because I want all this actionable stuff so you can put this to work. So just go find that this website will work fine. You know what I mean? I'll even send you the link. But you see how easy that was for me just to search for something. Now, when we get our now we convert the email. We haven't even gotten to the website yet. This is just the lead magnet, right? I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to see if I get it. Okay, now here's the second part. Oh, that little bit right there, we can make that enticing too. Like, hey, check your email inbox as soon as possible for this really great content. You know, these are different touch points during their journey.
I wrote that too.
Perfect. And well, that's it. First touch point is this. Boom. This is your love story. Beautiful picture. 10 seconds later, they get a second touch point, which is that irresistible offer of, oh, have you decided on your bachelorette party yet? Check here, or enter your email, send it over. And then they enter their email, and then they get a second touch point from that part alone that says, congrats, girl. You're going to love it. Check your email. You know, give it a little bit of personality. That's what we're trying to display. Those touch points are them getting to know you, your brand, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So now I just did that, right? Boom. It popped off my screen. I already saw 2 things. One was something I'm really interested in. And the second one was the thank you, giving me a little bit of personality. My head's in a different space now. Okay. I like this girl. She already offered me something. I haven't even done anything yet. This is great. I didn't have to pay for anything. Now I look at your love story. A picture, capturing your story 1 frame at a time. Nice job. That's really good. Let's see. Let's connect. I would this is just nitpicking right now, but that's hard to read. I don't know how this looks on the mobile, but just a little heads up, that looks a little hard to read. Maybe do it black or put it somewhere maybe underneath or above it or something like that. Just a random nitpick.
Nope. I love it. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And this is all good, except I still haven't warmed up to you a whole lot yet. And now we're asking for a hard ask. That's us to give them their info. And right here where it says, let's connect, they're thinking in their head, oof, if I fill this out, I'm going to get bombarded with offers that I don't want to be sold on anything. I'm just browsing. Remember, we're in their frame of mind. I'm just browsing.
Right.
I don't know. Right.
I have actually gotten a couple of people that have filled that out already. So.
Nice. Well, there you go. That's good. And I'm not saying nobody will fill it out.
No, no, no. I know that. I know, but I want more.
Yeah. So what we could do with that is this is very valuable real estate because it's right at the top of the page. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We can move this down. I like this. This is great. Capturing your a story one frame at a time. Right here, we could put something like, you know, how did we get here? Right. And then they click on it. And now it's your story. Right. It's your story of why you became a wedding photographer. Maybe you had a bad experience with your own wedding photographer. Maybe you had something specific. What is your story? Right. And then, because they click here, it says, how did we get here? They click over there. Oh, I'm curious. How did she get here? She reads a little bit about your story. And then at the bottom of that, we say that's connect.
Okay.
Right. Now they've gone through an extra page. They're that much more likely to connect or want to connect because now they feel attached to you. You've given them something for free. You told them a story about you and why you do what you do. And now they're like, okay, I'm feeling this a little bit. This is all great right here. This is your intro because here's the thing. This says, how did we get here? That's going to bring them to that page. But in case they don't click that, they're still going to see you right here. Right. So they're learning a little bit about you on this part. And maybe this is a little bit more in depth if they click that. Right. But if they don't, they're still going to get a little bit about you. Right. What does this do? Let's see. Boom. Same thing. So yeah, there you go. So that's another call to action right there.
Definitely. So I need to fix that.
Where's that supposed to go?
Have learn more and connect on the same page. That's silly.
Well, it goes to the same spot. Yeah. So this could actually be connect. That's connect. And then this is how did we get here? Your brand story.
I like that. That makes more sense.
Yeah. So now they can go two different ways, but there's what we call in marketing a bridge page in between. This goes straight to that's connect. This becomes the bridge page. This text right here. It's a shorter version of the bridge page. And then that's connect. Here, how did we get here? Bridge page, then that's connect. Does that make sense?
Yes, a lot. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I spend more time than I'd like to admit staring at this, trying to dissect what is and isn't, what I think is and isn't working.
And well, here's the thing, Lena, is you're a photographer and you're an IT person. You're not a marketer, right? And you all you need to know about marketing is enough to have conversations with a guy who does know about marketing. Right? I'd say this all the time. I use this analogy a lot. I don't know everything there is to know about finance, but I do know enough about finance to ask the right questions and have a conversation with my financial advisor. Right? As an entrepreneur, you got to wear all the hats, but you don't have to know all of the things about all of the hats. You just have to know enough to talk to somebody who does. So, boom. That's good right there. And I'll upload this and I'll send you this recording too if you want to go through it.
I would love that. Thank you.
Yep. So boom. So we're going to switch this to brand story.
Okay.
Change let's connect to something more enticing to want me to click on it. And then the next page is going to be about you and your reasons. And remember, when you're writing that copy, it's not about you as much as it is using your example to get them to relate to you. When I first started as a wedding photographer, or it all started when I had a terrible experience during my wedding. My photographer thought they knew everything and they were just terrible and all these different things. If you have your own anecdotal stories, sprinkle them in there because everybody relates, number one, with storytelling and especially with third person where they're like, yes, you want them shaking their head. Wow. If this story resonated with you, if you can relate to what I just said, that's connect. Now we're going to get that every single time. We're going to convert that much more. But if those don't click this, they just scroll by, write a little bit of enticing copy here that basically summarizes what's on this page. but a little bit more condensed, and then a That's Connect right here. You see the psychology?
I do. It makes perfect sense.
And just a random thought, what I would do, these are some of your really great photos, I assume, because it's a slideshow. Oops.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would do here, I would move this block between these two,
Okay.
right? So
I like that.
headline, your best photo, bridge page opportunity, best photos in a slideshow, and then your mini brand story and the call to action straight to That's Connect.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good flow.
And then the rest of it is whatever. It's just, you know, you can do whatever you want at the bottom because a lot of people aren't even going to get down here. You can just rinse and repeat with different photos, different contexts, different verbiage.
Yeah, I had like Let's Connect 3 times on this front page.
and that's fine. It can go 3 different times to that page, the connect page, right? The bottom of the funnel conversion, but change up the copy, right? Because I don't know that this button is going to go to the same spot that this button goes to. But if I see the same verbiage, I'm going to assume it does. And I already ignored this one, so I'm probably going to ignore this one.
Right.
But if you change what it says, this might hook me to go, whereas this one up here didn't. So it's just another
So that
opportunity.
one at the bottom of the page that I have there, should I have that like near the end of my website somewhere? Because it just, to me, it screams like it should be like,
Well, this is
definitely not on this first page, but somewhere. It feels like a somewhere.
That's Connect.
Like this whole thing that you're looking at right now. It's at
This
the
whole
very
block.
bottom of this page.
This whole block.
Right.
Yeah. And well, like I said, once we get past the first, in marketing, we call it below the fold. Anything past what I see on my screen right now is what we call below the fold. Right? Because a lot of people won't even scroll. They won't even do this. They're just going to look at this. And if they're not interested, they're not going to scroll. So we have to hook them and make them want to scroll.
Okay.
So this down here, once the further down we get the page, the less useful it is. You can split test it and things like that. But for now, to keep things simple, let's do this just to recap. Bridge page with something enticing. Capture your story 1 frame at a time. Where did it all get started? It's kind of lazy because I don't care about where it got started for you, right?
Right.
Maybe something along the lines of, if only I had known this before I got married. Remember, I'm looking for a wedding photographer. Fuck, what do I need to know? What does she know that I don't know?
Right.
I click this. I come on over. I read your story, the bridge page, and then connect. That's what's going to go right here. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to put the slideshow right here below that. And then we're going to juice up this copy a little bit, a mini version of your bridge page, a mini brand story. A brand story is your why, you know, what has brought you to where you are, right? Through the eyes of what will resonate with your target customer. We'll make a mini version here. Like this is fine, but we can probably not a whole lot more text, but definitely a little bit more text. And then That's Connect right here. Okay. And then this one's going to go up block. And then I like this. We can put these in there. I don't know how this looks on mobile, but what I would do on here, and if you're watching this recording later, this isn't as important. Me personally, I like the aesthetic of it being smaller, not as wide. Right? Just something to think about. But it looks fine. Like these are the different things. Yeah, these are all really good right there. And then you can play around with this again. As we get further down, it's not as important, right? This could say, That's Connect, get your ass into gear. Or it can be another offer for your bachelorette destinations lead magnet, right? Whatever you want to. Hey, by the way, did you, because maybe I ignored the pop-up when it popped up because I don't know. I don't want that yet. I don't even know this lady. Some people are not going to download it. And now I get to the bottom. I learned a little bit about you. By the way, click here to get the bachelorette's guide to partying with your girls or whatever you want to go with it. Knowing your audience. That's what's important. A little loud. I'm trying to find shade. All right. So any questions about that?
Nope.
All right. Next, I'm going to see if I got that email. I typed in my Google. Boom, I did get it. Perfect. All right. Lena McDonald. Welcome to LMA Photography, LLC. So this, again, this is all fine. This is pretty, you must have learned this from me originally. We did MailChimp?
Yeah.
Right. What I would do, and then take notes of this or not, have a head, like the logo's fine, have a headline first above the photo, because they're going to see that first, especially if they're on their phones. If they're on their phones, they might not see the headline, right?
Okay.
Make the headline specific to something that they're struggling with. You know, maybe since we're delivering and again, I'm not saying use the Bachelorette guide, something along those lines, right? That's an easy one right off the top of my head. If we're delivering the Bachelorette guide, whether we made it or we're linking them to somebody, right here, I would say, are you ready to get your Bachelorette weekend kicked off proper? Right? That's the headline. A photo of some girls partying or hanging out, you know, maybe they're sitting around a room with glasses of champagne, you know, stuff that women will do. We want to, again, resonate with them. And then we introduce ourselves. Hey, my name's LMA, or LMA Photography. So excited that you've joined our family. And then go into a story that represents your brand story page that they might not have clicked on. Right? The brand story is very, very important because we're going to deliver it on that bridge page. We're going to deliver a mini version of it on our original website landing page. And then we're going to talk about it here. Okay. And it's all going to be based around a pain point that they're going to have. Think about your own self, your own wedding, your own experience. Chances are, if you experienced it, other women are either going to experience it or they fear the experience of it. Or if there was no fear or anxiety, talk about the pain or the desire. Because if you had a great wedding, tell them how you did it. I want to make sure that happens for me. A desire is just the opposite of a fear and vice versa. We can talk about it either way. It's just how we're going to write about it.
Okay.
And then boom, now we have their email. And now we can freaking blast them forever until they unsubscribe. But this initial email is what we're going to use to deliver said promise on that pop-up. When I taught you guys all portfolio bait a while back, I got really into the thick of it. Like, hey, this is how you make the guide. This is how you make the resource. I went above and beyond. You don't have to do that. And in hindsight, I overwhelmed a lot of you people because to me, it's really easy. Just like to you, shooting this photo is really easy, right? Like you could tell me, hey, this is really easy. I'm like, I don't know how to do it. You have to back up a little bit. So let's just start with this. It's less overwhelming, way more attainable. We'll get it moving. And once we start seeing a little bit of results from it, we can go one step further.
I like it.
Any questions?
Not yet. No.
Cool. I think that's enough for the time being. You got some website work to do. Nothing crazy. Just again, remember where's our friends and family referrals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit of organic traffic. This will work for organic traffic. If we're doing paid traffic, we're going to get a little bit more into the thick of things because we don't want to waste our advertising dollars, right? But we can play around with this with organic stuff.
Can I get you to check one more thing for me real quick before you go?
What you got?
Look at the blog that I got started on there and tell me what you think.
Okay, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. First observation, headline above the photo, always.
I know I'm horrible at headline. I can't think of anything.
I mean, even this is a lazy headline, but it is a headline. Put that on top. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's not even a bad headline, to be honest. It's just exactly what it is. So I got to click on it.
There's a couple of them, but yeah. Very, very tiny, but it's just.
Oh, is this for wedding portrait quick tip? Is this for a photographer?
Yeah. Well, this is like for in my head, it's supposed to be like tips for your clients or something to,
as a photographer.
as a photographer. Yes. Like,
And that's fine if you're Jacob. You're not selling photography tips, right?
I was trying to, in my mind, it was like I was trying to offer tips to a client as to why a
Got it.
photographer would say
Got it.
something.
So this is
certain
to the
thing.
bride to have a better photo.
Right.
Okay, boom. So let's go back. Let's go back. All right, I got you. So wedding portrait quick tip. This could be a photographer. This could be a client. This could be a number of people. I would put this on top, and I would say, speaking to them, stop getting terrible bridal portraits. How to stop getting, or how to get a better bridal portrait experience. I want that. That's a desire of mine. Of course I want that. Or you could inverse it. How to avoid crappy bridal photos. It's the same thing. It's the same enticing. It's just one's speaking to a desire and one's speaking to a pain point. They're the opposite of each other. Now I'm like, okay, I don't want to have crappy bridal portraits. Boom. Hit them with it. And so I would put the juice right here, because again, this is below the fold. I'm seeing this photo. I clicked on it to see this bridal tip, or this. So I don't want to have crappy bridal photos, but I don't see it here. My kid just made a noise in the background. I got distracted. You want to have it on the fold, right? As soon as I click on it, I want to be able to see that. So maybe we darken this photo and we put it right here in big, obvious space. Because I got to scroll down all the way down here to get to it. I might not ever make it there. Okay. But as far as the, have you ever been in a portrait session and heard the photographer say before we get started, let's empty those pockets? Well, the picture above is a terrific example. Now I would say the picture below. We're going to put it below. Okay. We want to remind them. People have an attention span of a freaking goldfish. By the time I clicked on it, I already forgot why I'm here. Right. So remind them right away with a huge headline that says, this is why you're here. Text, tip, blog, whatever it is, and then the photo below. So they can, oh, well, what is this photo? They're going to scroll that way. Okay.
Okay.
So now that, and this is great because now you start putting these little bit of tips in your blog like this. So you start building up an archive of them, right? You got a whole bunch of them. And guess what? The email I get on day 2 directs me back to that page. The email I get on day 3 directs me back to another tip, another blog post. And if you got a whole bunch of them, we can enter them in accordingly. And then this page ends up as your bridge page at the bottom. That's connect. Put your calendar there. Now they've been in your world for a while. They're getting your emails. They've been seeing you for a bit, whether it's a day, a month, or a year. The right message, right person, right time. Eventually, it's going to get them, and your calendar starts filling up. But it's just all about the flow of your traffic, starting where the traffic is going to be. Where's the traffic coming from? The right person. What are we saying to them as it goes through? The right message. What's the call to action at the bottom? The right time.
Okay.